Welcome to Holy Golden Doodles channel. Meet our associates, their ranking in our pack, their status as our house dogs, and most importantly, our family members. Follow us as our 8-week-old puppies grow up to hopefully become healthy moms of healthy puppies for qualified owners. Health testing, milestones, things they learn, cuteness they share, all included here. Please consider clicking like, share, or subscribe to our channel. Hi guys, so excuse me, today I decided to cover a couple of things since I haven't made a video in a little bit. Things have been keeping me super busy in life, and it's just, I truthfully wasn't in any kind of frame of mind to want to really be all cheery and look up something to make a video about. But as you can see there in the video, I believe Paris is starting to come into heat. She's doing this behavior. I'll cover a little bit of that at the end of this video, or on one more, I'll make a part 2. But the first thing that I wanted to mention and talk about is dog chewing, destructive chewing. I'm off the top of my head, I can tell you a lot of things that I've done over the years to help with this situation. And when I was young, I didn't know anything about what to do with a dog to train it. And I actually observed my dogs and learned myself, because that was before the internet when you could look up anything at all. So I just want to start out and say it's normal for puppies or dogs to want to chew. And one reason, they're exploring, they're looking at whatever's new to them, and also their teeth, when they're cutting their teeth, it's painful. And you have to try to help them with that pain. Now, sometimes I would actually hold my puppies and let them get, mouthy with my hand, as long as they didn't hurt me. And I'd rub their gums like I would a baby. And it would help them with their teeth coming in. Also, I have actually taken raw bones and frozen them, or frozen stew meat, which I don't recommend that unless your dog is older. It's good for them in the cool weather to be able to chew on some good frozen meat or ice cubes or something like that. And also, in an older dog, it makes their jaws stay strong, and you want to make sure you keep their teeth clean. And chewing on stuff they're allowed to have is a great way to do that. You need to check if one reason maybe they're chewing when they're up older and their teeth are all in and everything. It might be a separation anxiety issue because they don't want to be left alone, or it's worse, more intense when they're left alone. They might whine or bark or pace if they've got separation anxiety and act restless. You can tell when your dog doesn't want to be left there, and a lot of times you'll have that. I usually have more than one dog. I just love to have a house full, so I've not had that to really, to really happen a lot. But also, some dogs will nurse on pieces of fabric. I had one dog that did that. And some experts think that happens because a puppy has been removed from its mom too young. So they need to be at least 7 or 8 weeks old before they're brought home and removed away from their mom. I'd say more like 8 or 10. But if a dog keeps doing with the fabric nursing, and you can't seem to get him to stop doing it, it might be a behavior that he's learned and just must do, compulsive with it, and you might have to take your dog to find a professional, that can help them break that habit if it's really annoying to you. Now, I've got a friend that her dog did that its whole life, and she just gave it a toy and it would just nurse on the foot or the ear or something like that, and it made it seem like it made the dog feel more, secure. Anyway, another reason why a dog might chew a lot is because it's hungry. Or maybe you've cut back on its food because it's putting on a little weight, and they'll start looking for something to snack on, just like we do. And I'll just say here, on my situation, I'll take bones that the dogs have had. I give them raw bones, and I do not recommend any of this as an expert fact, advice, anything. I'm just telling you what I did. You do what you want to do. But I will get hollow bones that I'm giving them to chew on, and I'll put peanut butter in them. Enough of it to where they can smell it because it's so strong. And then I'll put, if I have to crate them to go to work or something, I'll put the bone in there with them, or I'll put them out on the deck where they're always playing, and they can smell that peanut butter. They'll work on that bone all day long, and it satisfies their need to chew. So I do that sometimes. And puppies, like I said, when they're investigating things and going around trying out this and that and the other, they go through a stage and they lose their baby teeth. You might find teeth laying around in the house, little bitty baby puppy teeth. And then when they start to cut their adult teeth, it's painful to them and they need to chew. They cannot help it. They have to chew. So that's why they do that a lot. Now, I'll just say here, sometimes I'll tie up tube socks from Pet Dad, and I will tie them up in really hard knots and give them that to chew on. They're supervised with that. I usually watch to see what kind of thing that they like, that they crave to chew on, because usually there's a texture they're after. They'll go through stages of it. Now, right now, my dogs are loving these things from Nylabone. They look like sticks. I've got pictures of them added into the video, and I've even got a picture where my dogs have been chewing on one and what it looks like when they've been chewing on it. But it's not really a stick. It's just got like the texture of that, and it doesn't crumble up all over the place, and they can't swallow it and everything. I got those on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with any of those people. Just something that I do. You can freeze a really wet washcloth. You can give them ice cubes. I give them, like I've got a couple of rubber boots that we bought brand new that were too small for us. And instead of us returning them, we just pretty much gave them to our English Bulldogs to chew on back when we had them. We had them for years and years and years, and they never did chew the boots up. And now the girls are working on them, and they love to chew on that, and it's not going to hurt anything. But I'll say to never, ever, ever let your dog chew on anything unless you watch the dog. And if you ever catch them chewing on something they're not allowed to have, what I always do, I'll take it away from them, what they're not allowed to have, even if they've destroyed it, and I'll tell them no firmly, and then I'll give them what they're allowed to have. And I try to find something that's the same texture as what they are chewing on, because I feel like they crave certain textures like we crave certain textures. I don't know if that's true, but that's just what I've always done. Now, again, it's normal for a dog to chew. They do it in the wild. They chew on raw bones in the wild, and in the house, I give my dogs raw bones. I'm not recommending that to anyone else. It's just what I do. I don't ever give them cooked bones. It keeps their jaws strong if they're grown. It keeps their teeth clean if they're grown and they chew on something like that. If they're just bored, they'll chew. They just do it for whatever. You can also notice there's certain times of day when your dog's craving chewing. Mine do that. You can get a toy, put something good inside of it, one of those Kong toys or something, like a little morsel or a smell of peanut butter or something inside of it. And they'll work all day long on that and get their chewing. I'm sorry, my allergies. Excuse me. They'll get their chewing craving over with. Some experts recommend discouraging chewing by spraying like some kind of bitter spray that you can get for dogs, where they won't want to chew on something. I've never done that, but I know some of them do recommend that. And usually if they taste it and they spit it out, they'll notice that and they'll never mess with anything that tastes like that again. That's what they say. And sometimes it might even make them shake their head, might make them gag a little bit, but that's a way you can do. And I just cannot stress enough, like I said, supervise your dog while they're chewing on anything at all. If you cannot do it all the time and you've not tried something that they're chewing on that you feel like it's safe for them, just don't give them something. But when I crate my dogs, I give them those Nylabone stick things right now, or a peanut butter filled bone, and they'll just lay in there and just chew on their stuff until I come home. If you have more than one dog, that might be a problem too. They might get in a fight over the thing you're giving them to chew on, so always notice that. and be sure you keep each dog safe. You know, make sure they're supervised in that way too, because some dogs do have food aggressions, and you don't want any problem with that. Now, there's a picture of one of those Nylobones that I ordered that looks like a stick, and they seem to really love those. And I've got some that are in extra, extra large, and some that are like supposed to be large, but they're not very big. They're not very big, but they're not too little that they can swallow them. So I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've covered everything. When you first get your puppies, though, make sure you pay close attention to them to know what they're chewing on, and spend time training them not to mess with things. Give them deer antlers like this if you feel safe and you can supervise them. I've done that. Elk antlers and deer antlers, size appropriate, of course. There's minerals down inside those antlers that are healthy for them, and they love them. So it's apparent to me that this video is going to take a little longer than I expected. There's a monkey fist, a little knot of ropes that you can get. I think that Chewy offers those. I'm not affiliated with Chewy. But on my next video, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cover heat cycles, because I think Paris is coming into heat. And but anyway, I just want to say I'm not an expert. I am not a veterinarian. I don't know how to teach anybody anything. Just giving you a little bit of information. If you're having chewing problems, if your dog's wanting to chew on carpet, give it a piece of carpet that it can have, and make sure it understands that's the piece they're allowed to have and nothing else. That's the key that I've had. The best luck I've had with the chewing, but just I always know you have to supervise them until they stop their chewing behaviors. They have to learn. Nobody's born knowing everything. So that's the end of this fairly short video. Hopefully I can cover more extensive information on what I've done with my dogs at a later time, but I think the next video I put out will have to do with heat cycles, because I believe we're getting somewhere with Paris and Bougie. They'll be 1 year old the 17th, and it's time for that, I think. So thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and I do so appreciate all you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Are you pulling your sister off of Mommy? Yes, you're a sweetie. Paris and Bougie. Hi. Hello.